A very important concept to analyze benefits and cost of trade is the concept of consumer surplus or producer surplus. Consumer surplus is calculated by looking at the difference between what consumers will pay and what they actually pay. And the producer surplus is the difference between the actual amount received by the producers versus what they will accept. Well, in a graph, this is understood more clearly. This is the market for apples, and of course here is the price of apples measured on the vertical axis. This is the demand, this is the supply of apples. And in equilibrium, what we have here is $1 per pound. And in equilibrium here we have 60 apples or 60 pounds per day. Now, the price is $1, but some people are willing to pay, let's say, up to $3 right here, and it's actually higher than that. Well, somebody who is willing to pay $3 actually pays $1. So 3 minus 1, that's $2. $2 is the amount of consumer surplus in that case. Now, let's look at the case of the sellers or producers. They're selling the product for $1, but some producer, let's say, is willing to receive 50 cents. So that seller receive, or producer, 50 cents worth of producer surplus. Okay, so if you take into account everybody under the demand curve, and between the price of $1 and the maximum point of intersection here, then you can calculate a triangle here, and that triangle is called consumer surplus in this particular market. Similarly, you can calculate this yellow triangle, and that is the producer surplus. So for example, if I want to calculate the area that is greenish here, or the consumer surplus, assume that this intersection here is 325, and this is 60, the horizontal distance between this point and this point. So using very basic triangle formula, 1/2 the base times the height, you have 1/2 60, which is the amount of quantity, the pounds, times the difference between 325, which is the highest point on the demand curve, or the point of intersection on the demand curve, minus 1. So that'll be 30 times 225, and that is equal to $67.5. So this is consumer surplus, and it's actually called consumer welfare, a concept that is used in economics to measure the consequences or benefits of different policies. And similarly, we can calculate the triangle here. That would be the producer surplus. Well, let's assume that this is point 10, this point here. So the area of the triangle would be 1/2 this times the height, which is 60. So in that case, 1/2 1 minus 0.10 times 60. So that'll be 1/2 0.90 times 60. For, if you want to make this simple, 60 divided by 2, that's 30 times 0.9. That's, excuse me, 27. $27. Of course, if we have thousands, it would be 27,000, or if we have millions, 27 million, or 27 billion, etc. So that is how we calculate the consumer and producer surplus.